Welcome to I Am One, where I am one with the Creator and one with myself. I had this epiphany when I got up this morning. We spend a lot of time beating each other up because you believe this way, or you believe that way, or you practice this way, or you practice that way. And I just had this epiphany. Um, if your practice, your belief, your path, whatever term you want to give it, works for you, stop trying to make it work for somebody else. Stop trying to make everybody else follow your flow. And I say that because growing up, I grew up in a Christian household, and I grew up as a Christian, and I came to faith, and I walked down the aisle to the altar, and I gave my life to Christ, and I did everything that a good Christian was supposed to do. Don't drink, don't have sex before marriage, the whole 9 yards, doing all that stuff. But one of the main things that we were taught to do, and let me, by the way, add this, was also a ministry. Licensed and ordained as a pastor, confirmed or affirmed as an apostle. So I've done it all. I've been, in that realm, in that scope. But one of the main things that we were supposed to do, other than be strong in our faith, was to bring others along our line of thinking. And whether you were a Baptist, Pentecostal, Catholic, whatever it was, that was the main focus, to bring folks to your side. And as I started to wander away from that and feel like there was more, I realized that no matter where I went, no matter what path I went down, it was pretty much the same thing. So I don't believe this anymore. Now I believe this. So now I got to convert you and get you to think this way. And so I no longer believe that anymore. Now I believe this. And now I got to convert you to think this way. And the epiphany I had this morning was, if it works for you, that's good. But don't down somebody else because they choose not to walk that path that you're walking. Because if it's working for them, whatever path it is for them, leave them alone. And I strongly feel that way because it falls around that racial tension line too, that if you're not a certain race, then if you're not a part of the race that I am, then you're beneath, and you're less than, and you don't deserve, and you're not worthy of, and this is why your life is the way it is, because you're not this certain race. And if we would just leave each other alone and allow each other the freedom to live out their life that works for them. The other big issue is your sexual preference or your sexual identity, your gender identity. If you were born female and you don't take on that notion that you are female, and you feel that you should have been male, and you want to live out your life in that manner, who am I to beat you up about that? Who am I to condemn you to go one way or the other because of that? If we would just leave each other alone and allow each other to live out this existence in the manner that works perfectly for us, we would all be so much better off. This world would be so much better off because then we can remove the labels. You're Christian? Be a Christian. You're Buddhist? Be a Buddhist. You're witch, pagan, sorcerer, whatever term, atheist, whatever term you want to give yourself, wear it proud. But don't beat everybody else up if they don't fall in alignment with you or have that same mindset or that same thinking. I'm on YouTube, And I subscribe and I listen to a lot of people talk. I do. Because I'm open to hear and to learn and to get what I can. And if it applies and works for me, then I'm going to hold on to it. And if it doesn't, I'm going to leave it alone. But I'm no longer looking at people, well, if you don't think the way I think, if you don't believe the way I believe, if your path doesn't align with my path, then I can't have any dealings with you. And it's just ridiculous. We just came out of the holiday season, and I no longer celebrate Christmas. But I'm not beating anybody else up that still does, or still believes in Santa, or still teaches their children about that. What is the purpose? To make yourself feel better? If you don't already feel better about yourself for not practicing, then go back to the practice. If you feel guilty because you no longer, or if you miss it because you no longer, go back to it. Who do you think you have to prove yourself to? So I don't celebrate, but a lot of my family still does. And when all the greetings were going out and the texts were going out on Christmas Day, I told my family, I responded, enjoy your day. Enjoy your holiday. Have at it. I'm no longer telling nobody, no, I don't celebrate, don't send me anything. If you want to wish me Merry Christmas, I can receive that. I know who I am, and I'm comfortable where I am and with who I am and what I choose or choose not to celebrate. I'm not going to rain on your parade because that's not part of my existence anymore. Went to the post office. There was a gentleman I passed by, and he was just so into it and so chipper and so excited about it, and his arms were full of packages. And he said, Merry Christmas to me. And you know what I said to him? Merry Christmas to you. I need to go into a whole dissertation why I don't believe in Christmas, why I don't celebrate Christmas. That wasn't the point. I was at the post office doing my business. He was at the post office doing his business. If that's what he felt made him feel good to say to me, I gave him back that same salutation. Because I'm okay with who I am. And I don't need to make you feel bad for who you are. I am a female who has married a man. And I love this man. Have been attracted to men all my life. If you're female and you're not attracted to men and you're attracted to another female, I am happy for you. If you are a male and you're attracted to another male, I am happy for you. That is your life to live. Who am I to tell you you're right or wrong? Who am I to tell you where you're going to end up eternally? I am no one. I don't matter that much to you. My opinion of your decisions for you shouldn't matter that much to you. Whether I agree with you or not, it shouldn't matter that much to you. Because at the end of the day, it is your life to live. And if we could just get that line of thinking, this collective universe or this existence in this earth realm would be so much better. And I believe we could even get more accomplished. I am a practitioner of hoodoo, but I'm also investigating and looking into occult practices as well. And what I am learning is that in this existence, balance is required. And I say that because as a former Christian, the one thing that we always wanted was, we wanted everything to go well, and we wanted, no sickness, no disease, nothing negative to happen. Not understanding that with resistance, that's where our true growth comes. And so we want everything to be love and light and sunshine with no rain and we just came through this major snowstorm. across most across most of America. Blizzard conditions, and now we're going into this cold snap that's going to hit us for the next couple of days. And it is inconvenient, and no one wants to be inconvenienced. No one wants to suffer hardship. No one wants to go through the test and the trial. No one wants to shed a tear about something. We want everything to come easy. We want everything to go our way. We want everything. We want to have all the money that we can amass. We want to have all the material wealth we can amass. We want to have everything go our way 24/7. And the truth of the matter is, in this existence, that is not reality. It never has been. And if you're ready to hear the truth, it never will be. This mindset that once I get to heaven, everything is going to be okay, let's rethink that. I'm not trying to bust your bubble, but let's just rethink that. Because even if you believe that you're going to go to heaven, you think you're going to go there without having any adversity? You think you're going to get there with everybody on your side, everybody loving you, everybody agreeing with you, everybody wishing their best for you, everybody behind you trying to make sure you get exactly what you're trying to get? Let's be real. Even if you think that way, you know that there's going to be somebody behind your back that's going to try to stop you, try to slow down your forward progress. There's always going to be somebody. No matter what path you take, no matter what you call yourself, which Christian which, whatever you call yourself, whatever path, spiritual path, religious path, even atheist path, whatever path you choose to walk down, know this: it is not going to be a perfect path. Everything is not going to go your way. I don't care how many candles you burn. I don't care what rituals you do. It is not going to go your way 100%, 24/7, 365, or 66 in a leap year. It is not going to be that way. So the best thing that we can do for our human sanity is make what works for you work for you. And when you see that it's not working for you, whether you think somebody is hexing you or cursing you or giving you the evil eye, make the adjustment that you need to make so that you can continue on. You have a family member who believes this way, leave them alone and let them believe. And let me say this, I hope it doesn't shock you. Stop praying for them to believe the way you believe. Stop going on a 30-day, 20-day, 40-day fast for them to come around. Stop. If you want to go on a fast for yourself, fast that you can have a clear mind, clear thinking, fast that you can be the best person that you're supposed to be. But stop doing this, doing this martyr thing so that your sister or your brother, while they're on their deathbed, will come to Jesus or will come to Muhammad or will come to whatever you believe in. Leave them the hell alone. Let them find their way, their path, and be happy for them. That's the challenge for 2024. Leave folks alone. Somebody asks you a question, ask your opinion, share it, and keep moving. But don't say, well, if you would do this the way I do this, then you would be okay. If they're asking you, tell them what works for you. And if they want to take that advice, let them. If they don't want to take that advice, leave them alone. We are all searching. We are all grasping at straws. We are all trying to connect to the Creator of all, God, to the Most High, Almighty, whatever term you want to label. Reach that path of enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. We're all trying to get to the same place, believe it or not. Whether we call it heaven, the great eternal, whatever label you want to give it. We're all trying to get there. And some of you believe there's only one path, and that's through whoever. Hold on to that. But don't beat up anybody else who does not grasp at that, who does not think that way, who does not feel that it takes that to get to source. Some may say, well, I work with this deity or that deity, and that grounds me, and that aligns me, and that helps me to. If that works for you, have at it. Intently, listen carefully. Do what you're being told to do by that spirit or that entity. But if your brother or sister, your cousin, your significant other, the person that's your best friend doesn't see it that way, leave them alone. If you can coexist with them with those differences, leave them alone. I had a roommate in college when I was steeped in my denomination, and she was not. Do you know we're still good friends? It'll be 40 years in a couple of years, 30-something years. We've still been friends. And I've changed my way of thinking several times. We're still the best of friends. We don't talk to each other every day. We don't even talk to each other on a regular basis. But when we do, we have this trust. We have this connection with each other because we respected each other's belief at that time. I didn't down her. She didn't down me. But we remained good friends even to this day because we had mutual respect for one another. And I think that is what we are sorely, sorely, sorely lacking in this present existence. If you're not white, you're not superior. If you're black, you're inferior. If you're not a man, you're not superior. If you're a woman, you're inferior. If you're bisexual, there's something wrong. We need to cast out that demon of lust and abnormality. We need to pray it out because yes, you can become straight again. There is a way. Let's leave people the hell alone. Can we do that? Can we mind our own business? Can we keep ourselves on the straight and narrow, whatever that is for you? How about we do that? How about if we just go to work, go to school, do our job, do our homework, clean our house, our front yard, or our apartment, keep our area tidy and neat and make it work for us. If we could just do that, we'd be so much better off. If we cannot be jealous about what our neighbor has that we want and we can't have, or and be careful how I say this, but I need to say it. Stop saying if I had the opportunity. Because there's ways we can make the opportunity. For black people, yeah, we've had a hard time in this country of the USA. But there's still a way. And does that mean it's going to be easy? No. Does that mean it's impossible? No, it is not impossible. Will it mean we have to work a little harder or press a little harder and Yeah, it will mean that. Does that mean it's fair? No, not necessarily fair. I should get the same pay that a man gets for for the same job that I do. I agree. We should. 100%. Is it fair that we don't? It is not fair. Are we able to change it? Of course we are. Is it going to be an easy change? Of course not. But that doesn't mean the change is impossible. And I'm tired. That was one of my, I didn't do a resolution, but there was an intention that I put, that I burned before 2023 was over. And the word that I burned, the intention that I burned was fear. I'm no longer going to live in fear. I'm not going to be afraid to put myself out here. I'm not going to be afraid to say what I think is truth. I'm not going to be afraid of what might happen because I say it. Because it doesn't change the fact that it's still truth. I'm not asking you to like it, but it's still truth. And I'm not fighting with anybody to make you understand it either. I am going to live my truth without fear. And I'm inviting you to live your truth without fear. When I do tarot readings, some people will openly tell me that they're Christian. I don't care. I'm going to do the tarot reading. You give me a question, I'm going to pull the cards and tell you what the cards say. But what I'm not going to do is say, if you weren't a Christian anymore, then you could see this and you could see that. No, you be your best Christian self. And I'm going to tell you what the cards say according to the question that you give me. And you can run with that or if not. That's up to you. It's a new day, people. And it's time that we embrace it. It's time that we stop running from it. It's time we let our light shine, however way that light looks to you. And if you get a whole group that agrees with you, y'all have at it. Y'all go for it. Leave everybody else alone. What say you about that? Let me know what you think. You see, this type of conversation is not popular because it requires you to think. And I'm not downing you, I'm just saying. It requires you to think. It requires you to sit and do introspection and have an honest look at yourself. Nobody's throwing shade at you. Just sit there and have an honest look at yourself. And you have to answer the question, am I part of that scenario that she's talking about? Because I can openly admit, I know I was there. I know I was there. Praying for family members before they died that they would accept Jesus so that they wouldn't go to hell. Shunning folks because they felt like they were born and they should have been this gender, and because they lived to live their life this certain way, I couldn't get with them. Been there, done that. What purpose did it serve? Only to show that I was better because they weren't thinking the way I thought? That they wouldn't come in alignment with my belief system? Using fear to gain and get more people on my side, to gain and get more people to listen and to like and to agree with me. I don't need it anymore. I don't need your agreement. I don't need your disagreement. I just need to be honest and truthful with myself and challenge you to do the same. That is it. That is all. So where are you going to go with it? Like I said, I'm not trying to get you not to be anything that you already confess to be. I just want you to think about how you relate to others with that mindset. Can you just treat the next human being in your class, at your job, on your team, in the grocery store, at the gas station? Can you just treat the next human being as a human being, regardless of the tone and color of their skin, how curly or straight their hair is, how pretty their teeth are? Can you just treat them like a human being that they are, minus all the other bullshit? Because if you can, with whatever practice, belief, faith, religion, if you can do that with all that attached to you, you're all right with me. You are A-okay in my book. But if you can't, I seriously recommend some soul searching. I seriously recommend that you do what we call shadow work to see why that is. And what do you feel you have to prove by operating in that manner? This is an election year for us in the United States. So if you're pro this person, does that make you better of a human being because you're not pro the other candidate? Can you still have a decent conversation with somebody else who does not agree with you politically? Can you have a decent working relationship with somebody that doesn't agree with you politically? Can you be a decent neighbor with somebody that doesn't agree with you politically? Because that word fear plays into all of this. Race, religion, politics, plays into all of that. And in the end, what are we really afraid of? That somebody's right and we're wrong? Or we're right and they're wrong? I think it goes beyond that. We've been taught to fear that if we're not on top, then we're the loser. As if everybody can't win. And I know we get the mindset because we watch these teams play, the Super Bowl's coming up, we watch these teams play and compete, and somebody has to lose. Somebody's got to lose. Our team doesn't always win. We want our team to win, but they just may not. And there's this fear that I might be considered the loser. But what if you are? Does that mean you're going to breathe less air? Does that mean your heart's going to pump less blood? Just want to put that out in the universe. Because that's how strongly it struck me. I know where I am. I know what I believe. I know how I practice. And that practice is perfect for me. At this time, I can still evolve and choose another path and choose to add on and choose to do this and choose to do that. But if it works for me, it's okay for me. And I'm not going to try to put it off on you. You have your own path to walk, your own destiny to discover. And if we agree on some things as we both go down our path, hooray, hooray. And if we don't, it doesn't lessen either of our walks, our choices, our thought process. It doesn't lessen it one iota. Until we feel the need that you've got to put your mindset on your way of thinking into my head, and I got to put my way of thinking into your head. No. You do you. Be free doing you. If you're not hurting anybody, you're not committing any sort of crime, you do you. None of my business. I'm happy for you. Carry on. And if more and more and more of us could just pick up that mantle, I believe that's how we'll see major change happen. I believe that's how we'll get things done. So that is it. That is all. I feel better. Think about it. Consider it. With that, peace and blessings to you all.